Welcome back to the Barrel Talk Podcast. Another week of football is in the books. Week 2 just concluded last night. So, we got to hop on the pod to give our best takeaways from week 2 going into week 3. Going to be giving our takeaways and what we saw and how we saw from our perspective, and then go into the week 3 slate and then go over our updated new power rankings. But we can jump right into it. Whoever has the first takeaway from week 3, and we can kind of just start there and get the ball rolling.
I'll start because I want to show some love to my guy Nick's team, the Dallas Cowboys, which I thought was the best game of the week, actually, probably the Giants-Cowboys game. Absolute shootout. Brandon Aubrey's a GOAT. My take is a little bit backhanded, though, Nick. The Dallas Cowboys, to me, here's my takeaway. They have a stamped top 5 offense in football and a stamped bottom 5 defense in football. And you know what? I think it's just going to be fun to watch. I think the Cowboys have one of the more unstoppable offenses right now. I looked at the Giants as a team that are going to play in ugly games and stick around in games, and they did do that today, but it was not the way I thought they were going to. Dak Prescott, I got to say, I was disrespectful to him this offseason. I've always known how good Dak is, but man, he can just make plays. Them adding George Pickens was awesome. Javonte Williams looks like an incredible running back right now. And then to talk about their defense, like they were able to stop the run a little bit, but man, that secondary is terrible. Bland is out, so that makes things a little tough. But it's not like he's some shutdown corner by any means. He's more of a turnover guy. But yeah, that's my takeaway. I think they probably have the biggest gap in the NFL right now between where their defense ranks and where their offense ranks. Reverse that. So. Shout out to the Cowboys for getting the win. That was a really fun game. But, man, they need to figure some things out on that defensive side. But the offense is looking really good. And if they can put together a season where they win 9 or 10 games somehow, Dak Prescott's going to be in the MVP conversation.
I wish I could disagree with you. Sadly, I cannot. Trayvon Diggs is ass. This dude can't cover anybody. Just getting destroyed by Malik Neighbors. Maybe he can cover maybe some slow receivers, but not Malik Neighbors. He is not a slow receiver. He was just killing him down the field every single time. Same with Wan'Dale Robinson. They let Russ cook. They made Russell Wilson look like it was 2012. That was insane. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Almost looked like we could use a star pass rusher to really get some pressure on him. Some guy. I think we drafted him a few years ago. Some guy named Micah Parsons. That would have been cool. Honestly, I'm happy we won. I won some money off of it. Cowboys minus 2.5 spread alternate. Let's go. My parlay. So that was cool.
Oh, wow.
Scared the shit out of me the whole time. But yeah, you're right. Offense looks really good. Dak is going to be in some MVP conversations. I'm seeing my boy Javonte Williams hurdle some dudes. I'm seeing him hurdle. Oh my God. Maybe I wasn't too far off calling him a top 5 running back in the NFL shot.
Well, I want to say too about Javonte Williams. I don't think this is too surprising either. If you look at last year before his injury, he was really good. In Denver, though, he's not going to get the amount of volume he's getting here in Dallas. Sean Payton was rotating backs a ton. So it's not like he just went from bad to good, right? Like it's an opportunity thing. Like Javonte's been that guy, so that was a really good pickup.
And he's not like super old either. He's like 25 years old or something like that. He only had that one stint with the Broncos, and there was always some hype around him. So yeah, I think you're right. And people have always been saying since we lost that O-line, and it's completely new now that we're shit. We just signed Tyler Smith to that big ass contract. We have another guard that's really good that I can't remember his name. We got Tyler Booker. Things are looking up on the O-line, and I think you're right. Sadly, our defense is going to be shit probably the whole year unless we make some moves. But yeah, this offense is going to be top 5, I think, the whole year. I think Michael Penix, Corey, your take was looking good. I think he might get edged off by Dak Prescott in the passing yards department a little bit, but it's going to be close. That was a good take. I like that take.
It's just we'll get into the Falcons later, but kind of going over Dallas is I agree the defense does take a hit, but I'm never going to be one to say that if I'm watching the Dallas Cowboys game and they're on defense and the one time they don't get a pressure on a third down, I'm going to be like, well, Michael would have been this and Michael would have been that, because we've also seen situations where in the playoffs, Micah wasn't doing shit. Micah doesn't have those stats in the playoffs. But I will say they are missing that exclusive pass rusher for sure, and the defense is taking hits because of it, especially the secondary, because they can't generate enough pressure. But like this is exactly the Cowboys team I was expecting going into the season. A team that is more than capable of winning a ton of shootouts, more than capable of putting up a ton of yards. Like this is exactly what I expected from Dallas. I love Pickens down the stretch of the game. Me having Pickens in multiple fantasy leagues, I was like, throughout the first 3 quarters, it was like, when is Pickens going to find the rhythm and get some work? And then in the fourth quarter down the stretch of the game, it was pretty much all George Pickens, which they needed to do a bit better of getting both of them involved, him and Lamb, like early. But like you guys said, Javonte is like very good, like for what they want to do, and they're kind of working him and Miles Sanders in at the same time, which I think is very good as well.
Yeah. And then you still have Ferguson. I think there's still some room to grow there too.
Yeah.
Let's see. One that I have. Oh, I mean, we can say inside the NFC East. I kind of want to talk about Washington and the other side of that Packers game. I'm a little bit worried with how that offense looked. Obviously, we know that Terry McLaurin still isn't as involved as we want. And they got Debo. That running game just looked a little questionable. And in the late game, there seemed like there was no urgency to me, and that Jaden Daniels either had nowhere to go or was just struggling to see the field a little bit. I know, obviously, they're playing the Packers, so they were getting a lot of pressure on him. But like, I don't know. I just expected more from this Commanders team. Actually, I didn't. I had them not making the playoffs, and that's actually I think that's looking good right now. But I'm interested to see what you guys think of Washington right now.
I'll go before Cole because this is something small that we had question marks like right when it happened because we were in the Ozarks actually, or on our way there. I still don't know why you just trade Brian Robinson for like no reason. Like you traded him like you had Austin Eckler from 5 years ago.
Yeah, I didn't even mention the Eckler injury.
And like, I just am so confused because anytime on short yardage situations, they can't do shit. Because Eckler's now on IR, and they don't have a big, powerful running back that can just work in between the tackles like Brian Robinson. And it's like they didn't even trade him for anything.
Yeah, they got like a 6th-round pick.
And then you gotta think they're gonna be in the Rashad White sweepstakes, to try to address that. I mean, that was just terrible. I'm right with you on this.
And I don't even think Rashad White is like somebody that should be available because him and Bucky Irving, like we saw last night,
he could be used too.
Yeah, it's not like he's getting no work. It's not like he doesn't get any work for Tampa. Mm-hmm. But it's just like that's the one thing I feel like when you look at all the best teams in the NFL and like real true contenders, they are able to just get the ball in between the tackles in the red zone. When you look at the Eagles, obviously, you look at the Ravens with Lamar and Henry, you look at Buffalo with everything they have in the running game, and then like the Commanders who get looked at as a contender depending on who you're talking to, they trade that running back and then they have Eckler on IR. Then it's like this roster is so goddamn old, like all across the board. Like when you have Debo who's older, Austin Eckler who's older, Zach Ertz who's older, Wagner's older on the defensive side. Like they have their older roster around a young quarterback, but like that offense is kind of what I expect it to be. It's a very safe Kingsbury offense where a lot of short throws, dinking and ducking downfield. But now they don't have a Brian Robinson that they just give the ball 2-3 times and they're getting in the red zone. But Jaden Daniels is taking too many hits, and I'll just give it to you, Cole, because he's getting hit way too much.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you're saying is true. I believe that it's week 2, so based off whatever your schedule was, affects like where we're at with these teams, and obviously that's how every single NFL season is. But when I look at the Commanders, I just see a team that just ran into a top 3 team in football right now, whose defense is absolutely looking unstoppable, and it's still the second year for Jaden Daniels. You lose Austin Eckler in that game. I mean, there's a lot of things that make it seem like there's this big worry for Washington, but I just don't really see it like that because the way I saw it, they were still in that game the whole time. They're playing against the team who I think is the second best team in the NFC, and they're right there. Last year, if the Commanders played a game a little bit similar to that, almost not like game script or anything like that, but like they were still behind to the Eagles in the NFC Championship. Sure, maybe we didn't get this like drastic jump from an NFC Championship team that the Commanders were, to where they're just showing up against the best teams in the NFC and like whooping their ass. Like maybe that didn't happen, but I still saw things from Zach Ertz that I liked today. I still saw things from I feel like Debo's been better this year than I thought he maybe was going to be. Terry's going to get going. I agree with the run game issues. Jaden gets healthy. He's going to be back to the runner he can be. I just felt like last Thursday, was just kind of a tough game to judge them on. At least if we're, I'm not going to
short
overreact
week
to this
in
one.
Lambeau.
Yeah,
I'm not crazy overreacting, but I do have like the Daniel's injury is like worrisome, and because they don't have a run game and how much he does use his legs, that's where I get worried with how explosive the offense can be, because that his legs are a big reason why they got to the point they did last year, and him
100%.
being able to play out of structure. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to kind of pivot this to my takeaway just because I've seen it just over the past 2 weeks. Is it just me, or have I witnessed probably like the worst O-line play just from a league perspective?
Thank you.
There are so many teams where like the O-line is just atrociously fucking bad. Like I'm not even talking about
are defensive players great, or are O-linemen just becoming shit?
I think it's the O-linemen becoming shit.
I agree. Because I think so.
Perfect example is the Raiders game. Like it's a 3rd and 3. They didn't even try to block for the run. And mind you, they didn't have Genty in at this point because Isaac said something about it. He's like, why is Genty not in to run the ball? It was Zamir White, which was like whatever. But I'm looking at the Raiders O-line, piss poor against the Chargers. And the Chargers at the back half of that game didn't even have Khalil Mack. So it's like, what's the excuse there? And then you're going to the Vikings who don't have Christian Darrisaw. And their left tackle position is the entire reason why not the entire reason, but a big reason why the offense is looking as bad as it is, because you can't have protect the blind side. The Texans O-line has been shit for years. The Bengals O-line, and we'll get to them, with how hurt Joe Burrow gets because he has no fucking protection. Like, I just feel like every game I turn on, the team that is winning is playing a team that just has the worst O-line play like I've fucking seen. Like, I don't know what it is. And look at all the quarterback injuries just up to week 2. It's mainly off of O-line play. Like, it's basically because they can't protect.
The Vikings O-line.
The Vikings O-line's bad. It's so bad to a point. What was the biggest question about Atlanta this year? Who would have thought that game they don't score no damn touchdowns and their defense is... I thought the Falcons' defense was going to hold them back all year. That looked like the best defense in the NFL against Minnesota, and that's not only on J.J. McCarthy. J.J. wasn't good. That line is terrible. Y'all need CD back so bad. Like, it is... That was so bad. Raiders, so bad. There's so many games where this is happening where no one can block. Running backs aren't picking up guys to protect their quarterbacks. It's like every time I've watched football this year, I'm seeing quarterbacks just get sacked left and right and left and right. And that is the most frustrating. The most frustrating way to watch a football game. The Chiefs.
Obviously, they've played the Chargers and Eagles, 2 tough matchups, but like this dates back to last year and how bad their fucking O-line play has been. When have the Chiefs ever just not been able to run the football? They legit can't run the football because of how bad the O-line is. Like, and that's where I start to raise questions.
He's lost a little something too, I think.
He definitely has.
He's just not good. Kareem Hunt is way better than him.
I think Kareem Hunt, they just both are the same back, because neither one of them are the greatest receiving threat, and they don't really have that receiving threat in the backfield. But it's just like, when you don't have Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy, is that just allowing teams to just stack the box? So, like, I got to see it when they're fully healthy with their receivers before I say they can't run the football, because I think them not having their number 1 and 2, and Kelsey obviously not being the same player he was, is just allowing teams to just be ready for the run at all times.
They finally have a left tackle. Because if
Patrick Mahomes in back-to-back games you're a leading rusher, I think that's a problem. Because I feel like every quarterback is just getting lit the fuck up every game.
Yeah.
Like, we even saw it last night with Baker. Baker was getting lit the fuck up. Now, this is because Baker puts himself in harm's way a lot more than he probably should.
The Texans also have an amazing defense.
I just think every game I turn on is just like, it's just like, Jesus Christ. The O-line, like, am I looking at every O-line and I'm just like, we're just not even trying.
Maybe we're just like, we've seen the Eagles. maybe the Eagles' offensive line is so good that whenever we watch any other team, it's just like it just looks so bad compared to them. Because Jalen Hurts, I know. I'm sorry, we're jumping around. You can get on Jalen Hurts about a lot of things. He was trying to throw the ball a lot of those times. I mean, maybe he's missing. I haven't seen no all 22 stuff. He's staying in that pocket. He's trying to go make a throw. He's got all the time in the world. So, like, it's almost like the Eagles have the opposite of this problem compared to any other team. Like, it is night and day.
And that's a big reason why the Eagles are where they are.
Yeah.
Is because they have the ability and the O-line play to just run, pass, do whatever they really want to do offensively. But like there's
A.J.
legit
Brown
teams
got
like
his
the
starts.
Texans who can't run the ball and the Chiefs who can't run the ball. Like and like you're putting so much pressure on like your quarterback to like just throw the ball however many times. This is basically what Dak went through like the past 2 years. When the Cowboys just couldn't run the ball and Dak had to throw 45 times a game, 40 times a game. And then you see how hindered the offense can be. So it's just very interesting. That's just what one of the biggest takeaways I've seen is how just bad O-lines have been performing. And I can't tell if it's because a team's not having their weapons or the defensive lines are just that fucking good and stacked against them in the certain matchups or what. But I've been looking at some of the O-line. I feel like any game I turn on Sunday is just like, holy shit. Like, why is so-and-so getting sacked as much as they are and getting hit as much as they are? Like, no wonder he's fucking hurt. Like, I don't know. That's just me. But I have some other stuff we can get talk about the Vikings game for later on. But whoever wants to get into their next one.
Go ahead, Cole.
I was going to say that the Steelers' weakness is their defense. Corey, you're very high on this Steelers team, and I'm not here to – I guess I could use the overreact word again because I think Seattle's good. I think Seattle has one of the top units on the defensive side of the ball. And there was a mistake by Caleb Johnson in that game that obviously swung things like big time. I mean, you go from a tie game to a 10-point game just like that. I just think that we are used to watching the Steelers be able to rely on dominating on the defensive end and then just getting by. You know, it's those fourth and shorts, and they're able to punt, control the field position, and win these games. You got Aaron Rodgers wanting to go for it on fourth and short, and Tomlin's doing Tomlin ball, and I respect that. But the defense isn't holding up their end of the bargain. I mean, this is back-to-back games of the Steelers giving up 30-plus points. When was the last time in our lives that has been a thing that's happened? You know what I mean? Against the Jets, and they've given up 30 points. No disrespect, but to Sam Darnold and Justin Fields. It's not like they've played the two top offenses in football and given up these like high amounts of points. The Steelers just don't look good, and it's not an Aaron Rodgers thing. I think their offense could be better, but their defense isn't holding up their end of the bargain. Not even close to the level it has in the past. And I think unless something changes, this team is not going to go 500 again. They've gone 500 in the past every year because of their defense. And if their defense is going to play like this all year, Aaron Rodgers is going to be fine, but he's not going to hold that. He's not going to take that team to the playoffs with this type of defense. I mean, it's almost like anywhere he goes, something goes wrong for him right now. And I'm not the biggest Rodgers guy, but it almost feels like I'm starting to get on that side if it's never his fault because it's starting to seem like that.
I agree with the defense. Just kind of something that's interesting ever since TJ Watt signed that new contract. He hasn't recorded a single fucking sack. But no, it's just
terrible
like
fucking
this
contract.
is what happens. This is what happens when you have kind of an older defense. It's not like they're the young, like how the Texans defense is, where they have young guys and they can fly around all over the field. Like everybody on that defense is on the older side for the most part, to where they're going to have performances like this. But I do fully believe that I think they could have just been caught off guard. When you're looking at the game before Caleb Johnson made that mistake on the return, like before then, they were perfectly fine and well within position to win that game. But that definitely changed the entire momentum of the game. And then I want to say Seattle got the ball right out of half and made a drive to where like you're giving up 2 touchdowns and one of them was just purely off a rookie making a mistake. And it was just so crazy based because the ball didn't end up bouncing fully out of bounds and it was in the back of it. Like it was just a crazy thing. But still, to then, like you had a whole half of football to win that game. But it's just like Seattle's definitely slept on for sure. Offensively, they have some shit, and Kenneth Walker finally had a game to where you're
He
like,
looked
this is what
fast.
Kenneth Walker
He
should
looked
be
fast
doing
as
every
fuck.
game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he was hooping. But the Steelers, like, I think they're going to be just fine. Because if the offense continues to just be able to push and move the ball downfield, I'm confident that the defense will eventually figure it out. But I do worry about, like, TJ, like, they have an older defense. Like, week to week, it might not be the same defense it was in the past couple of years because of how old that defense has become. But, like, I don't know. I think they're going to be fine. We just saw, obviously, Justin Fields play out of his absolute ass against the Steelers in week 1 and then completely come the fuck down to earth in week 2. Just that quick. So, like, I'm not taking crazy stock into it, but I do see where you're coming from because the defense has sold them, I feel like, the past 2 games, but I think they're going to be fine. If the offense can just stay fine, I'm sure the defense will come around eventually.
Shout out to Jalen Warren. He was moving me.
Yeah, he's been hooping.
Yes, I do think that defense will get better. They have the names. They aren't going to be shit all year.
One thing about TJ Watt, by the way, I just want to say this because I made a comment that maybe came off crazy saying it's a bad contract. I do think it's a bad contract. He's been a shell of himself since the injuries started piling up. You look at his brother's career, it was the same way. It was the exact same way. As those injuries piled up towards the end of the career, he just wasn't the same player. And when you pay a guy at that age after those injuries, it turns out to be a bad contract. And that's what started the downfall of the Houston Texans. Now they're back to being a good football team now. There was a lot of years where they were not good because they had paid J.J. Watt all that money after those injuries. Wasn't good anymore. The same thing is going to happen to the Steelers. This 500 stuff is not going to happen anymore. They're going to be a 6-7 win team. Oh, I did not mean to do that. But they're going to be a 7-win team for a long time. Because I think this contract is going to put them in a position where they can't have a spread out high payroll defense or a high payroll weapons room. This is not a TJ Watt hate thing. He's made good plays this year. TJ Watt does a lot of amazing things on the football field. But if you look at the history from his brother and you look at the trajectory he's kind of going in since the injuries have piled up, you owed it to him, but that's just the tough part of the business in sports. Like, it's hard to make those decisions later in a guy's career. Yes, he's earned the money, but is it smart to give him it? I don't think so. And I think that it might put them in a tough position if he can't get back to the TJ Watt level we know this year or next year. I like Alex Highsmith. I like some of the guys on their team, but I don't know, man. You're going to have to keep drafting well. It's that type of contract scares me, especially when you see what happened with his brother.
Yeah. Before we get into the next one, I want to say, like, just off these 2 weeks alone, I've noticed that there is a clear gap. I don't want to see any named compared to him anymore because, like, he's outside of, like, Mahomes, Lamar, like Josh Allen. There's nobody better in the league than Myles Garrett. Like, he is just there should be no defensive player compared to him in the league. I think he is just that big of a difference maker.
Max Crosby does a lot.
He does a lot, but I just think Myles Garrett is just in this crazy tier of his own to where, like,
I agree.
It doesn't matter. Like, if God forbid he was actually on a competent football team. If he was actually on, like, any decent, you put him on any just decent team, like, he could make them a contender for real. But the Browns are so bad to where, like, that can't even be a thing. And I can go right into my next kind of takeaway. It's the Browns. This is going to be kind of short and sweet. It's just like, why are we starting a 40-year-old quarterback that can't move? Like, you have two quarterbacks that you just drafted in the same class, and you're telling me you'd rather just, like, I just don't understand. I understand we are sitting this quarterback, getting him to see what's going on out there, but, like, he's 40 years old. What is he doing for you at this point? If this was like a Sam Darnold, JJ McCarthy situation from last year where, like, Sam Darnold's younger, like, he's still, let's see what he can show us, like, type thing, like, he's been around the league a couple of years, like, but he has the talent, obviously. Joe Flacco's, like, about to retire.
There's no point.
And you're bad. You're bad. Like, if the Browns were like the Vikings of last year where, like, there's talent on that roster, they're younger, like, good, like, you can see what they can do. They're competent in that division. But like, bro, like the Browns are fucking bad. Like they're just bad. Like why not just?
Why are you doing that
like,
to your fans?
Why are we? Yeah, why would we throw Gabriel and Shadur Sanders to the Wolves? Like, isn't this the whole point of drafting a quarterback in the first place? Like to get him reps and to see? Because now you're gonna go into next year with like what? The same questions that you could have answered this year in his rookie year. Like that's just my takeaway. I just think. And then you see Baker, and then like you see like that was the big talking point on Twitter. It's like people act like Baker like had this crazy comeback story. No, he just was in Cleveland.
Yeah,
in Carolina, like,
shit.
In Carolina, like this wasn't like he came off some crazy injury. Like, I just think them starting Joe Flacco is just like disservice to the fans and like just bad organizational management because
the
like
Browns will be the Browns.
Yeah, like that's all. That's we ain't even got to talk about it no more. That's just kind of something I needed to say. Like it's just
I like that.
What's the point? What's the point? Like you're just gonna dig yourself and answer no questions this year, then go into next year with the same. Oh, we don't know what we have at quarterback. Well, you could have just used this entire year of being bad to figure that out. And it sucks because like they have Myles Garrett, who I think is legit the best player in the league, almost depending on who you're talking to at his position easily. And this is like you have Stefanski, who's a good coach. Like it's not like they have a bad coach or like bad defense. Like they've always had talent on the defense. They've always had Stefanski, like in being a good coach. Like they've always had sneaky, underrated, good weapons like throughout their time. Like I just think it's stupid.
Joe Flacco?
Like it's just why are you have Joe? That's the biggest thing. Like if Joe Flacco's like in his late 20s and he's like still has some shit to prove, but he's not. He's just
fucking 40
here
years
to
old.
legit collect a paycheck and like whatever. But we can be done with the Browns. We can be done with the Browns. Nick, you can go ahead.
I agree.
God, can we talk about my Jags and how they just create new ways to lose football games? After Joe Burrow goes out with an injury that's going to just push him to IR, it's official.
I'm glad you brought this up because we can talk about the Bengals too.
Yeah. You still manage to lose to Jake Browning, who comes in, puts up like 300 yards. I don't know what's going on with Brian Thomas Jr. and Trevor Lawrence. Kind of looking like early shades of like Tyreek and fucking Tua. Like these guys just can't get anything going together.
Well, Liam Cohen
and just kind of
there's some beef going on there. No, I'll let you finish, but I'm with like there's something going on with Cohen, Lawrence,
for sure,
and BTJ. Something going on there.
I mean, this might be a Lawrence issue, to be honest. I mean, this might be like him just thinking he's just too good for this shit and he doesn't want to take any like hard coaching. I don't know if that's what it is, but yeah, I'm just trying to see what you guys think of this, and do we have any chance of the Jags coming in and potentially winning this division still?
I don't. They just seem like they're a year away. Like, it is interesting, but I do think last year when Brian Thomas Jr. was going off, it was solely off Mac Jones slinging that bitch last year, back half of last year. That's when Brian Thomas was eating. Because Mac Jones was the quarterback when he was eating back half of last year. Just kind of tying in like fantasy, because I was at that point in the year, Jags ball wasn't even worth watching. But if you have Brian Thomas Jr., you're tuned in and tapped in, and that's when he was going off. But it's just like, I don't know if they're just not on the same page at all. But I will say the only bright spot I've seen from the Jags is Travis Etienne's back. Like he is back, like to wherever he was, if you want to say top 15 RB in the league, like because he fell off last year, but it was more of a team fall off. But like I'm not confident in them competing for this division because they shoot themselves in the foot. They shoot themselves in the foot every game, and like this was a game where they win if Brian Thomas Jr. catches that ball, obviously. But then you let Jake Browning go down the field, get you here on the road. They have Chase and Higgins, but like you let him go all the way down the field and score. I don't know. I said it in the chat yesterday. I was like,
kind of out on the Jags.
I'm kind of out. Like it's just like I don't see it. I think T-Law is just going to be in that kind of conversation with like the Tuas and shit like that, to where like maybe not as bad as Tua, but just like the what ifs. Like he's obviously starting level quarterback, but he can never break into what he was supposed to be. And we're seeing Justin Herbert break into what he's supposed to be, and I think there's always been a gap between Herbert and T-Law, realistically.
Oh yeah, for sure. T-Law, I mean, like I still believe in T-Law. I still believe in the Jags. I think the defense still has a ways to go, man. Like we just cannot be letting Jake Browning work down the field. I don't care if you have Jamar and T. Higgins, man. We got to stop this backup quarterback from destroying us. But I think the offense is gonna be fine. Brian Thomas is still a great talent. Yeah, you said Travis Etienne looks good. Trevor is still making some really good passes. It's just sometimes he's evil. Sometimes he turns evil and makes some terrible fucking passes. And then, yeah, the Brian Thomas one obviously went off his hands and into the Bengals defender, but T.Law already had 2 interceptions at that point, and one of them was really bad. So, like, it's just he just needs to get better decision making. He already has like 4 interceptions on the year. Like we need. I don't know. You're right. I just need him to. He needs to break the barrier of like that Josh Allen barrier of decision making. I don't know if that's what it is, but like obviously they're not the same talent. But like I don't know. I've always believed in Trevor, and he's pissed me off. Yeah,
he plays way too much hero ball at times, where he's just trying to make the spectacular throw downfield. Like he has all the talent to where like he's not just. Most quarterbacks need to just manage the game. That's like the whole thing about the position, and he's just trying to overdo it and not just manage the game and take what they give you. Because there's times where he's just throwing into double coverage just because he thinks he has the arm to do it, and he does.
He does have the arm, but like
so it's not that, but like you don't need to do that. Like when you have decent weapons around you, like Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, like you Etienne's back, Brandon Strange, like you have good weapons. Guys. I feel like he just forces it a lot and puts the ball in crazy harm's way when he doesn't need to.
Yeah.
I want to say real quick, Corey, I like that you brought up the Mac Jones thing about BTJ. I almost feel like here's what I'll say about that. Him dropping that pass has nothing to do with that, as right as you are. Maybe we got a little high on Brian Thomas just because of kind of the game scripts they were playing in last year where they were always able to just be like trying to pass the ball. They were down in games. You know what I'm saying? He's got to catch that. It looks like there might be something mentally going on with him, and I hate to like go there, but that's just a fact. I mean, when you're that good of a player that he is and stuff like that is happening, you see like maybe some attitude issues, him arguing with Coach Cohen, Trevor Lawrence, and Coach Cohen arguing. Coach Cohen calling Trevor out in a post-game presser, which I do like that, but there's also like there's a time and a place for that, right? Like maybe I don't know. It's a tricky situation, right? As you want your coach to hold your guys accountable, but sometimes it's like, maybe not right now. Maybe that's just not the time. Another thing, this is what I brought up about how week 2 is such a weird time because depending on who you play is where we stand. The question here is, do I believe the Jags can still win the division? You look at the standings right now, the Colts are 2-0, the Jags are 1-1, and then the Texans are the 0-2 team. But we all have the Texans over both. I think we all still have the Texans over the Colts as division winners. Maybe not all of you. I do. But like right now, it's just like if you look at the Texans and the Jaguars going into a game, I just can't see a world with what's going on right now with their offense, the Texans not just dominating them. The Texans have had to play the Rams and the Bucs. That's 2 very good teams with very good quarterbacks.
Playoff teams.
What I want from the Jags, let's see, Liam Cohen, my favorite thing about him is what he did with that run game in Tampa last year, and he has ETN looking like he's back right now. Lean into that and make things easier on Trevor Lawrence. You brought up how he's trying to play hero ball. Don't make him think he has to. Let's make things easier on him. Let's run the ball. Let's get some play action going. Let's get Travis Hunter the ball in space sometimes like he used to in Colorado. Let's do whatever we can for Brian Thomas Jr. just to get a target the first drive of every game. Like whatever it is, right? Because week 1 when Brian Thomas didn't have the good game, they won that game. It's like he didn't even get a target till like maybe halftime. Maybe he had a drop or something. I think that if Liam Cohen, who is a great offensive mind, can just lean into this run game and make things easier on Trevor Lawrence, as the year goes on, Trevor's going to be more confident to trust that arm and everything will just click. But right now, you hit it on the head. I mean, I feel like he's just kind of forcing it. So I think Coach Cohen, instead of calling him out and questioning what he's doing, make things easier on him. Make things easier on him. Run the ball, some play action stuff, some timing stuff. It just looks like it's tough right now. You guys have the team to win this division. I think they do have that team. So I don't know. I think
they do have the roster. I think
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's just bringing it together.
they need to fix whatever the toxic environment they have going on right now is. And it was just one loss. It was one loss in a game they should have won. They could come out next week and kick some ass and be like, hey, we just sold that Bengals game.
They play the Texans next week. I got
the Texans for sure, but that is a big game.
Damn. One thing about Liam Cohen, real quick, I'd be damned if I'm going to be like Mike McDaniel, getting bitched around by my team nowadays. If I'm him, I'm coming out and I'm saying something. I'm happy he did. I'm going to take advantage of the situation right now and like nip it in the butt. Like, I don't know, huge on like culture nowadays and like not letting your players walk all over you as if it's their team. Like, I'm happy like Sean Payton when he came into Denver and was like, Russ, get the fuck out of this office, bro. Like, you are not getting no office.
Yeah.
And then like eventually he's out the door. Like, we ain't doing no players are the like the franchise here. Like, you are, but you're not at the same time. Like, we're not doing this shit. Yeah. I'm glad Liam Cohen came out and did that.
Yeah, I can kind of flip it to the Bengals side of things. Because obviously Burrow surgery out for 3 months, pretty much his season's over, right? Sucks because the whole thing with the Bengals was they get off to slow starts. They went 2-0 now, and they had a winnable game against the Vikings next week. But now with Joe Burrow being out, what does that look like? I'm hearing a lot of the Andrew Luck conversations about Joe Burrow. I might have a hot take. I'm not crazy in on it, but it's going to be a hot take. We might have seen the last of Joe Burrow in Cincinnati, in my opinion. Because at what point,
as in he'll be traded?
Quarterback, there's just some weird thing where, like, I just don't know how much longer he can stand getting killed like this. Because all of his injuries have pretty much come because the O-line can't protect him. All of his injuries have stockpiled because of it. Like, and it's so alarming to where there's no avenue ever that they go down to try to improve the O-line. When I look at a quarterback that has, in every year of his career, the highest rating the O-line has been given is 27th out of the entirety of him being there, is so bad. And this is a team that went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And their O-line has never been up, not even cracking top 20. 27 is the highest the O-line has graded since he's been there. And we've already talked a bunch about O-lines a little bit earlier, but it's just like, at what point is like enough? Like, and like it's crazy because he gets a lot of flack for like, oh, he's always hurt or anything else. I'm like, Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl, never having a top 25 O-line, and the offense still works. That's how good he is as a quarterback. Like, the O-line playing that bad, and they're still able to run with Chase Brown, and they're still able to have historic years out of Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Like, and he gets kind of the shade he does, really. Like, I just think if I wouldn't be shocked if it came down to it, to where, like, if they can't find a way to improve that O-line, I'd want him to leave.
I don't think there's any way that happens. Also, were you not the one, Joe Burrow, advocating for T. Higgins to get signed? How about we advocate for some O-line play instead? I mean, if I'm not, and this is me more talking to you as if he was actually thinking this, because I don't think he actually thinks that.
Yeah.
Because if you were thinking, again, like if you were thinking that your O-line sucks, then advocate to your team that you want some O-linemen, because he was advocating for T. Higgins. He was saying Jamar Chase needs to get paid, and they did. And you got your receivers, and you have no O-line. If we really wanted
this
some
team
O-linemen, let's come out and advocate to.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
Oh, for sure.
Since they've drafted Jamar, who fell into their lap, by the way, they have not been able to draft anybody. They what's his name? Stewart was a good pick, but they gave him a hard time. They have gone so far away. They got their receivers, and they've drafted, I think, straight defense since then. And they had 1 year where they had a really good defense. They went to the Super Bowl. Other than that, they have not drafted O-line to even have guys like that are up to get paid on this O-line. This is the most unique situation I've ever seen for a quarterback this good. I've never seen anything like this. You have a top-end edge rusher. You have the best receiving duo in the league. You have a top 10 running back right now. And Mike Gesicki their tight end? Am I tripping right now? Like,
He's a solid
That's a
enough
solid
tight end for what they already have.
I know he just got hurt, which makes it even more unique and interesting and weird of a situation because I don't get how this team isn't either great or I just don't get how this team isn't great. Even like, how is your O-line that bad? How is your defense that bad? I don't understand. I don't understand how it's that bad. I don't know. I really actually had no monologue plan for this. You guys just kind of got me fired up thinking about Joe Burrow's career because it is one of the more interesting things I've ever seen with the track of injuries, the random Super Bowl appearance, the amount of talent around him to not equal wins, but also him playing really good. It's not like they don't perform. Him and all these big name guys perform. The guys that aren't the big name guys are just so bad that they find a way to lose games with it. I don't get it. He's not leaving Cincinnati, though. This front office
I don't think so.
This front office doesn't know how to do anything. They don't know how to get rid of him. They don't know how to pay anyone, and they don't know how to they don't know how to get rid of guys either.
How do we do that? How do we trade?
They don't know how to do shit. They're cheap.
I will say, like, it is interesting that you bring up, like, they just find they might be the most unlucky, like, good team that's supposed to be good. Like, if you dated back to last year, they should have beat the Ravens twice. And they didn't because McPherson one game on that Thursday night, missed 2 field goals, makeable field goals, missed both of them, and then they lost late in the game against the overtime against the Ravens. And then it's just like, I feel like dating back to last year, like, they just had some crazy, like, they were in the game against the Chiefs last year, phantom PI gets called and they lose that game. Like, they just always end up, I feel like, on the wrong side of things. But it's just like, it's so weird because of how bad the all-line plays, and Joe Burrow put up over 4K yards last year, and Jamar Chase won Triple Crown. So it's like, even through thick and thin, the O-line being as bad as it is, like, they find a way to be a good, competent, above average, way above average offense still somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, but it's just the injuries keep piling up, and that's more so what I want to get to, is not really like what's going on with the team. It's just like, at what point do the injuries start piling up, and he's just like, Jesus, like, because the one healthy year he's had, they went to the Super Bowl. Yep. And then, like, the one other healthy year he had, if they would have won 2 more games, they would have been in the playoffs, and he probably would have won MVP last year.
Yeah.
Well, so like any at elite quarterback, you need your defense to play. Like, in 2021, or maybe 2022, I think it was 2021 or 2022, you need these top-level quarterbacks need their defenses to play at an elite level. And once that win streak started and then they got hot at the end of the year and went, that defense was playing at an elite level. I don't know if you remember. It all started. They played the Raiders that first playoff game, and it was actually a good game, that wild card game. And ever since that point, that defense was so elite. Even in this, and then it went to the Super Bowl game. He hasn't had that. He's not going to get back to even the playoffs until he gets at least above average defense. That's nothing on him.
Because before we move on, I think he's the best pocket passer in the league.
Lamar Jackson.
Like, sitting in the pocket, I don't think there's anybody who's just better than Joe Burrow just throwing the ball all over the field from the pocket. He's not the most mobile guy in the world, but he does enough with his legs to get himself around the pocket. Yeah. Like, his pocket presence and his pocket
it's
ability.
It's the best.
Like,
yeah.
Herbert's probably the only one that I would say is comparable right now.
Like, it's Tom Brady-esque. So be able to sit in the pocket and take hits and, like, I don't know. I think they're doing him a disservice, kind of what I said with C.J. Stroud last week, and the C.J. Stroud's on rookie contract, like, and they still can't get the O-line figured out. They reshuffled it. Ed Ingram is
they said, you know what, we don't want him.
Ed Ingram is their right guard, and he couldn't even get O-line play for the Vikings last year, who had a bad O-line. Like,
yeah,
I think
I'm going to say this real quick. Lack of good offensive linemen.
For entertainment, I want to entertain this, Corey, because you said you don't think he'll be in Cincinnati much longer. I want to do something a little fun. We'll make it quick. What would be the best destinations for a Joe Burrow? Because the one that came to my mind, I know that offensive line was just bad, but once Darisaw is back, you get Joe Burrow in that Kevin O'Connell offense, I am so moved. Get Joe Burrow to the NFC. The things he could do in the NFC. You got Josh Mahomes and Jackson over there in the AFC. You get Joe Burrow in the NFC with a good defense. My goodness, he's going to be in that Super Bowl. He's going to be in that Super Bowl a lot. I just, for the sake of conversation, I want where could y'all see him playing?
It would have to him be like, we're talking fantasy world now, but it would have to be him asking out and demanding out. Not the Vikings. Whenever Stafford hangs it up, I don't think the Rams are paying anybody crazy money over there to where they couldn't take on Joe Burrow's contract.
I'm thinking the New York Football Giants.
That'd be aura.
Once
that'd be
Russ
crazy aura.
says goodbye. Joe Burrow in a Giants uni with Malik Neighbors. Oh my God.
Jackson Dart would have to be the only reason I say the Rams is because I don't think the Giants or Vikings are giving up on their young QBs in the next couple years. They would take. Oh, we'll get to that, but
Joe Burrow demands out.
Yeah,
I don't give a Jackson Dart, say goodnight.
Yeah, but I think the Rams.
If it's JJ McCarthy, say goodnight. I'm sorry.
We're everybody in the league
Joe
say goodnight.
Burrow. They'll trade it.
But I
JJ
think
2 cents to be in the deal.
It's weird because I think the Rams are just that team that is always going to look to just stay competent and relevant and never enter the full on rebuild. To where once Stafford leaves and you have all that money available, and he retires at the end of this year, next year, whenever, it's coming for sure. But they have the infrastructure to be able to bring somebody like him in, and their front office is never afraid to give up picks to go make something happen. And what better successor to Stafford than Burrow, for a McVay team?
Perfect.
I don't know. It would be interesting.
And one last thought, because I'm just saying, okay, they've started 2-0. This might actually be a little segue, and I'll throw the Burrow thing into it. They've started 2-0, but they've played the 2 worst teams in football, and it has not looked good. Once again, Kyler's playing. He has these high moments, and then he also has these lows. Is there a panic meter on the Cardinals for you guys, even as a 2-0 team right now? And we can go into the year, this is a prove-it year for Kyler. Because Kyler, if they have another bad year, he might be out, and then that could be a Burrow destination. Just saying. Don't let Joe Burrow get down in Arizona. Don't let him get down in Arizona. That's all I'm gonna say. But no. But all seriousness though, this is a bad 2-0 start if there's ever been one.
Because I also think the Cardinals, that was one of my takes going into the season, that this was kind of a make or break year for Kyler.
Yes.
But I just think it comes down to that, they are such a weird team. But it's also they were playing the Panthers, and I watched Bryce Young play the worst ball for 3 quarters. And then it's when the game was pretty much out of hands, and it's the pressure of them winning the game wasn't there. He was just fucking phenomenal. I feel that's a big, we kind of talking about Bryce Young, and kind of my take on that is when you look at all of his games that he's played really, really well, it's either the game was just a little bit out of reach down the stretch, or there was just no pressure on them to win whatsoever. And once that pressure of we have a chance to win that game leaves, I feel he just starts absolutely dialing up shit downfield. And there were some crazy calls. It felt anytime Arizona got a stop, it's PI this, roughing the passer, holding.
Bullshit roughing the passer call.
Crazy calls that kept the Panthers in the game. But it's just if the Panthers went down and won that game, I would have been well, that's just a classic Arizona Cardinals loss right there.
Facts.
But I think it's more of their defense, if anything. They just don't have that defense that can get consistent stops like that for real.
Yeah. I mean, I heard they added a few guys. I'm with you on the Kyler's just inconsistent. I just don't think this team, and I believe in the Cardinals, I like them. They will not be able to do this against a top tier team.
No.
At all.
Who do
they might get killed by San Francisco healthy.
Well, don't they play San Francisco or the Rams next week?
Huh?
They have San Fran next week at home.
That could be a good
if
game.
they were healthy, they might get killed. They might lose that game.
I agree with that. That's why Mac Jones is going to do the thing, though, for Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah,
he's going to get it done.
Might take the Niners in that game. Like, I don't know. They don't have the sauce over the top. They can win these games against the bad teams, but yeah,
You're
they're
right.
not going to be able to do this against.
You need a Kyler
top tier
masterclass
guys.
for them to beat any really good team. I want to say one last thing about this game, though. Shout out to Tet McMillan. He looks like he's going to be a legit wide receiver one for a while. If Bryce Young can get his confidence back and play like he did the second half of last year, those two could be a legit pairing in this league. I'm not giving up on the Panthers yet. I know it took a late game comeback, them getting an onside kick to even have a chance. And they are one of the worst teams in the NFL, but I think that I don't know. I think there's still some hope for the Panthers. Like, if I'm a Panthers fan, I'm not too mad right now at all. Ted McMillan looks awesome. Had a 100-yard game.
You're not worried about Bryce Young at all?
I'm not. He looked really fucking short, but I'm
He
not.
looks so short. I'm not even worried about that, to be honest.
I think that there is so many worse QB. Just like look around the NFL. There's so many worse teams you could be a fan of when it comes to who your quarterback is right now. And honestly, like Bryce Young. How do I say this? Because the Panthers have a good line. The Panthers have like an average everything. Besides Tet, I think if Tet becomes a top 10 receiver, and then they can kind of they can maybe add some pieces on defense next year. Like maybe the Panthers might be a year or two away from making a wild card berth. I really think that there's a world, especially when you look at their division. Like the Bucs are really good right now. The Falcons are going to be good, but they're going to be above the Saints. And I just see a world where they're headed in the right direction right now. I'm not trying to make a take about the Panthers. Definitely not for this year. But I feel like they're headed in the right direction. I wouldn't panic if I'm a Panthers fan. I did a lot of yapping there. I don't really make a point, but
I can kind of pivot this into one of my takeaways. And I've kind of just been seeing it a lot. And just Caleb, I don't think Caleb Williams is the right quarterback scheme and play style wise for what Ben Johnson wants.
100 fact.
When I might have a little bit of a take. You talking about Bryce Young? I damn near think if you swapped the two, it would damn near be a win-win for both of their careers.
Oh yeah,
because Bryce Young is somebody that needs structure and somebody that can deliver the ball on time, but he needs that structure because when it is out of structure, he doesn't have the athleticism like Caleb does to make plays out of structure. And Caleb can do some bonehead shit sometimes, but the athleticism and the arm is there.
Yeah.
But there's times where Caleb just plays out of structure just to play out of structure.
That's not Ben Johnson.
When you look at the Bears, yes, Ben Johnson wants the Jared Goff. You're going to sit in the pocket and just sling this bitch all over the field and use your run game. But when you look at the two Bears starts, those scripted plays, they come out and scored on both opening drives to start both their games this year. It's everything after the scripted plays to where it's like, holy shit, what the fuck is he? It's so crazy. I just don't believe that he's, in the way he wants to play is beneficial for, what Ben Johnson wants. Ben Johnson wants the Jared Goffs, the Staffords, the Tuas, pocket passers that want to deliver the ball on time, on target, and play within the system. Caleb wants to just play without, outside of the system too much compared to what Ben Johnson wants.
Yeah.
You got to hold Caleb accountable for this, though, because you would think that this would just make Caleb plays like that because he has the talent to do a lot of these things. This structure should only help him, though. He's choosing to not do it. Maybe not choosing, but he's not. He can't anticipate, is what I'm trying to say. And I think in this offense,
it's just a lot of bad habits.
Yeah,
a lot of bad habits from college. A lot of bad habits that were built off last year.
Because in theory, Ben Johnson is making things easier on him, and he's not taking advantage of that. He's not anticipating. He's not on time, and that's just and that would fit Bryce Young perfect. So that was a really good take. You hit it on the head.
Like Caleb plays more like Kyler, and I compare the two a little bit because I don't think Kyler would work great in a Ben Johnson system either.
No.
They just him and Kyler are comparable because there are two guys that I feel like thrive when they're playing out of structure at times. But it's just like Ben Johnson.
But
That's
it's
not
not
what
consistent.
Ben Johnson. Yeah, it's not consistent of a thing. That's why Kyler's so inconsistent of a player. So like, I just
agree.
don't think long term he's going to be the guy for Ben Johnson's, because I feel like they're so more in on Ben Johnson because he wasn't the coach when they drafted Caleb, to where it's like they could wash their hands with it if it doesn't work out in like a year or two. This is the Chicago Bears, so I wouldn't be shocked if they like got off Caleb to get a better fitting piece in there. I just don't think the pairing works. There's some coaches and QBs that just don't work in this league.
Yeah.
And it just comes down to that, especially for what we've seen Ben Johnson work with in his career. Like, he had golf. Like, and golf is structure. If there isn't structure, that's where golf struggles.
That's what. Yeah.
Ben Johnson
Golf is the
chose
quarterback for Ben Johnson.
Chicago. Yeah, he is. But Ben Johnson chose this. He could have taken any of the open jobs, and he chose, I want to go coach Caleb Williams.
Couldn't he have went to the Jags?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Which I think
there was another
I was thinking him and T-Law would be a lot better than him and Caleb.
I think he has like a little bit of like this. He has like this weird pride thing. I feel like maybe this is just me being like an outside fan. Like it's almost like he wanted to be like in the same division as the Lions.
He wanted to play him twice.
Like I don't know. Like I don't. For all the different avenues and where he could have gone, like why would you like it just did, it made weird sense for him to go to Chicago. Because the year before last, he had a couple other opportunities. I don't know what they are off the top of my head. But he stayed.
He took the Chicago job and started shit-talking Matt LaFleur. And now he wants a rivalry with his old team. Like, yes, he's arrogant. Like, this is a fact.
Like
he literally made it.
He won a little bit too much smoke being the worst team in that division.
Say that again?
You want a little bit too much smoke for being, like, legit the worst team, and at this point, the worst coach in that division, because you're just starting out being a head coach. Like,
cook his ass.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's good. I mean, depends what you think of him versus Dan Campbell, but like,
Dan Campbell's
he's definitely the worst coach. Okay, yeah, I just don't see, because I don't understand.
Dan Campbell was his boss.
I just don't see what Dan Campbell does in the game. Like, I don't know how much he contributes as a head coach, compared to a guy who's calling plays, I
agree.
I get it.
I think specialists are overrated. I think the defensive-minded, offensive-minded coach thing is overrated. You look at some of the best coaches in the league, and they're just straight up the head coach.
Yeah,
I guess I'm thinking
very
of like Tomlin.
Like he's not as good as like
Pete
Matt
Carroll,
LaFleur.
Tomlin.
He ain't as good as Kevin O'Connell, and he ain't as good as Dan Campbell.
But
I just wouldn't be shocked if in a year from now they're in the we're gonna try to get a quarterback more fitting, because it's crazy because he did nothing but fucking rave about Bagent, like all camp, how sharp he is, how he just makes it the throws. That's all I was hearing out of Bears camp was how much he was raving about Tyson Bagent. Like, but Bagent is more of a system and a scheme quarterback for Ben Johnson. Like, it's not even really a slight for Caleb. I just don't think this pairing works, or is going to work long term for what they want to build in Chicago, realistically. That's just my take. I just think
it's only 2 games. I think
it's only been 2 games, but
like some time.
But like with how good the scripted shit goes and how bad the rest of the games go, like
they better drop 30 on the Cowboys, or else there's a problem.
Is there a world where he's over Caleb?
Situation.
Is there a world where upper management just won't let him start Tyson Bagent, but he already wants to?
Yes. I think if that situation were to happen and he was like trying to start Bagent, they would not let him. I don't think.
No.
Ryan
There's
Holtz
no way.
Isn't going for that, huh?
But I will think if this year wins or losses don't matter, it's more so how Caleb plays, and obviously that's a determining factor on wins and losses. But take wins and losses out of it. After this year, if they don't feel like Caleb is their guy, like this Chicago, they won't hesitate to just move off, bro. In my opinion,
man,
it might be a 2-year process, but it's just like he just seems like the opposite of what Ben Johnson wants, and I don't know if Caleb can turn because he's just not he's just not that kind of player. Like he's just not for what Ben Johnson wants.
Yeah,
Bro,
He's on the more Kyler Murray side than the Jared Goff side.
Because they're not close to making the playoffs.
No.
They're fucking terrible. The Bears are fucking terrible. Like,
and they just lost Jalen Johnson.
And this is on Caleb. Corey, you're being safe almost with this, I feel like, by saying for what Ben Johnson wants, adding it back in. No, just call it how it is. Caleb Williams is not good. He's just fast. He's just quick and can throw on the run. And that shit does not work in the NFL. It's just a fact. We want to protect our take because everyone was high on Caleb out of the draft. No. The truth is he's not a good NFL quarterback. And if he was, he'd be able to make it work in Ben Johnson's system. The whole idea of Ben Johnson's system is making it easier on quarterbacks. That's the whole idea. It's not a fit, sure, but he's just not good either. That's a fact. And maybe Ben Johnson isn't a good head coach either, and that coordinator job is good. Tom Brady said it on the broadcast. Should have stayed a coordinator. There is just the truth that this franchise is cursed, and they hired a guy who's not ready to be a head coach, and they drafted a guy who's not ready to be a franchise quarterback, and their running back sucks ass. He's not Jahmyr Gibbs or David Montgomery, and DJ Moore fell the fuck off. They got rid of Keenan Allen when he was their best receiver last year. Only bright spot in this offense is fucking Roma Dunze. But guess what? He's not going to matter if you have Caleb Williams starting. And sure, you can say, let's start Badger because he's a system guy. He's not going to get done either. It's Chicago. They can't have good quarterbacks.
I mean, I'm not even saying you're wrong. I just think this is a little too early. God damn.
It is, but this is every year, though.
We got to give Caleb some time. No, for sure. Yeah. This just sucks.
Caleb.
I have so many Bears fans and friends.
He's not good. He's not good. Man. I want him to be good. He's not. He looks fucking scared. He has PTSD from last year's O-line.
He's always complaining.
He's not a leader of men. To be a franchise quarterback in this league, you have to be a leader of men. He doesn't move anyone when he talks. He can't go in that huddle like a J.J. McCarthy even can and get the guys going. There's no good leadership stories about Caleb Williams. He's just a cool guy. Like, he wants everyone to like him, and they do. They like you off the field, but that's not what a fucking franchise quarterback is.
Yeah.
Franchise quarterback is leader of men.
Definitely more of a diva than anything.
Oh, and then guess what? Your head coach is... And then you hire a hot shot play caller to be your head coach. It's just a disaster. You need a fucking leader of men in that locker room. You got a hot shot play caller and a diva quarterback and then diva wide receivers. It's a disaster.
We can pivot to the same division, talk about the Vikings as you brought up J.J. McCarthy. This is just a situation where I bring up my dad because me and my dad will talk ball all the time, like about the same situation. I brought it up to him in the summer. I was like, I always talk about KOC having to go into a new season and have to rebuild a quarterback's confidence, and then you have to see the quarterback prove itself, and then you got to go through this whole cycle all over again. Like, Sam Darnold showed you enough. You won 14 games with him, and it seemed like there was just no, we should bring him back. From my point of view, looking at what the reports were saying, there was just no, we should bring him back at all. They were just so written off by the last two games to where like they forgot all the good shit he did this year. When you gotta think that's his first time ever in a playoff high pressure situation, because that game for the division was basically a playoff game in itself. Like, and it feels like they just said JJ McCarthy's our guy, but I'm like, this team just won 14 fucking games. This team is not ready to go through the ups and downs and the woes of a rookie quarterback. They're just not ready to fucking do that. And I understand there's been some injuries with Darrisaw. Harrison Smith hasn't played. Van Ginkel didn't play last game. Cashman didn't play last game. Like, Jordan Addison has yet to play this year. Like, there's been some injuries throughout the team, but it's just like, team won 14 games last year. I really don't think they're going to want to go 7-10 because of a rookie quarterback and his growing pains. When you had Sam Darnold, who proved it last year that he can run the system and run this offense. And now we have this phantom ankle sprain.
That's so fake.
That is the fakest shit I've ever seen come across my phone. So
I was like, what?
Go sit the fuck down. We're going to let Wentz take this beating that you've been taking because Darrishaw's been out and
Isn't he coming back week 3 though?
Apparently, they said it could last 3 to 4 weeks.
No, I meant Darisaw. Wasn't he? His target return was week 3, I thought.
Yeah. So if you have him, and my biggest fear is, and it's probably gonna fucking happen, knowing KOC and knowing how the Vikings operate, they just bring quarterbacks back from the fucking dead. It's where
Carson Wentz gonna look good.
Yes, he's gonna look too good. He's gonna look too fucking good, and then we're gonna be on the same trajectory that we were last year, where shit,
y'all gonna go like 3-1 in these next 4 games that JJ is.
And then
out.
it's like,
because he'll look to the left side of the field where Justin Jefferson runs his routes, and JJ McCarthy won't. So that'll help out.
Because that's been a big thing that I've been seeing a lot more of is JJ McCarthy doesn't utilize the left side of the field. He is not confident throwing to the left side of the field. It's actually been a thing since college. I actually did a little bit of research. He does not.
He also
operate.
is moving slower.
Yes, his throwing motion isn't quick enough for what for the. And it's, I will say, I have some other shit. So we bring up the O-line play, and I brought it up earlier to kind of back up my point now, is looking at Justin Saluk, who's been the left tackle in replacement in just 2 games, 91 total snaps, 7 QB pressures, 3 sacks allowed, and 1 penalty. So that's been through the first 2 games of the year. And we always bring up kind of when Mahomes played the Bucs in the Super Bowl, he was pressured on 37.5% of his dropbacks when they lost to the Bucs in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
JJ McCarthy was pressured on 60 against the Falcons, on 60% of his dropbacks.
Oh. Owie.
It's too much.
So when you're looking at that, bad O-line play, and guess you haven't had Darisaw, who's a top 10 left tackle in this league. Understandable. So when you're looking at that,
you also have Jones, who's definitely a better pass blocking back than Jordan Mason should have.
Yes. But you kind of have to have Jordan Mason in the game, majority, because he's just the better runner with more juice. And now, right on schedule, right on cue, Aaron Jones hamstring injury.
Yeah.
Story as old as time. Been here before. So it's just looking at this, and I was talking to my dad last night, I was like, I'm going to be pissed when I see Carson Wentz come out here and look very good against a bad Cincinnati defense at home, and he puts up 200 yards and 2 touchdowns and we win.
Gosh,
and I'm going to be like, well, yeah, I'm like, well, great. Now we're back on the same fucking path we are always on, where the guy who's supposed to be the guy isn't ready. And I'm not fully out on JJ McCarthy, but he's just clearly overwhelmed and not ready to lead a team that just won 14 fucking games. They're not trying to enter no fucking rebuild with what they did this offseason. They're not trying to wait for this quarterback to get ready. That's my whole take on why I thought Sam Darnold left a little bit early compared to you should have tried a little bit. If I guarantee you, Sam Darnold might have taken $10 million less than what the Seahawks gave him to stay in Minnesota. The whole thing was if you brought Sam Darnold back, you couldn't have added everything you added. I'm pretty sure you still could have went and got Jordan Mason. I'm sure you could have went and got Will Fries and Ryan Kelly. Now, would you have been able to
something out?
Yes, you could have figured something. Would you have been able to get Hargrave and Allen on your D-line? Probably not. You would have probably had to pick one. But then you already have your quarterback. So you're they won 14 games last year with all those fucking holes. And they decided not to bring him back. And now you have JJ McCarthy. Now you have this stud fucking roster when fully healthy. And now you can't have a quarterback because your offense looks so bad.
Yeah.
So it's just maybe you should have fucking kept Sam Darnold. You finally had a younger quarterback with an arm that could throw downfield. It's
yes
just
and no. Let's not suffer too much from 2020. Hindsight. Hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
Well, we were going in on the Vikings after Sam Darnold played like shit in that playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I mean, if they would have re-signed him, we all would have been at the start of the year been like, they can look good all they want, but no one's going to believe in this team come playoff time.
I'd rather have that than actually have a quarterback that's not fucking ready.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm okay with that. It's just
owed a lot of money.
He was gonna. I don't know. He was gonna make a lot of money.
I will say though too, look at Jordan Love's career path though. Of it's okay. You can still become a top 10 quarterback in this league while sitting out for your first 3-4 years of your career. Not even that JJ was going to have to do that. But if you do decide and keep Sam Darnold while you have Justin Jefferson, while you have this really good roster that's capable of winning 14 games, and Sam Darnold still improves, because Sam Darnold's only shown that he's a good quarterback when he's in a good place. If he's able to get over that hump and win those playoff games, then it's all worth it. And JJ's getting better, and then when he does play, he's ready. So I do agree with you that maybe keeping Sam Darnold and trusting your roster, trusting your whole team, that it's not a Sam Darnold thing. He can win this big game. Could have been the move. And JJ might benefit from that too, but you know what? We'll never know anymore because they didn't pay him. I think that's just a tough thing in this league that the quarterback costs so much money that it's hard to pull the trigger to pay him because your rest of your roster might suffer. And it was a decision that the Vikings had to make. And, you know, they trusted JJ. And I don't think it's the end of the world if JJ's bad all year this year because they still trust him long term. I think it's just right now.
I'm more surprised they didn't bring in another guy.
Yeah. And you had Daniel Jones sitting right there.
That's what I was thinking. Daniel Jones was my first thought, but you know.
But you got to remember though, you have this 14-win team. You have Justin Jefferson. I think it's a little bit disrespectful to the fans to just be like, we'll go to JJ. You know, I do. But that being said, a lot of fans were wanting Sam.
The fans themselves didn't want Sam, bro.
It's
like,
a
Corey,
big.
what were you saying?
Have hindsight
what was,
now.
Yeah, but what were you before? What did you want to happen?
Like, I think I remember you saying you didn't want Sam, but I also don't want to put words in your mouth. So
I was in between. Like, I didn't want Sam Darnold because of the price tag that was going to come with it. But I also was on the side of, we just won 14 games. I don't want to take now we're last in the division.
Like, that was a lot of fun.
Based off our quarterback. Like, I don't know. It was just very odd to me.
Lost to two teams.
You lost to two teams all of last year. The Lions twice and the Rams twice. So you only lost to two teams the entirety of last year. So it's like, I don't know. Obviously, there's a lot of hindsight going into it, but JJ just doesn't look ready. Looks very overwhelmed. The Christian Darrisaw part of it is a big reason why the O-line's playing as bad as it is at this current point in time, because we do have a very expensive O-line at the moment. But not having your blind side covered and protected is a big reason why I think he is very overwhelmed right now because of how much he is getting hit and taking a beating. It's where it's going to suck because Wentz is probably going to come out in this bitch and look very fucking good. This is just what KOC does. It's just what he does. Like, it's just what he does.
I don't even want to deal with that shit. I'm tired of him. I don't want him to play good, I'll be honest. I just want it over with. I
want him to play good.
So it's gonna be very interesting. But JJ just doesn't really look ready to lead a team that legit can compete for playoff spots every year, like this. Now, Jordan Love sat for 3-4 years. Like, that's a whole different conversation. But like, you had the opportunity to bring in some guys to help your team right now. You had Rodgers on the table who wanted to come. Like, you had Daniel Jones in the building. Like, could have brought back Sam Darnold, and even if you didn't want to go that route, it's not like Rodgers was asking for Sam Darnold money.
Yeah, I mean, like Rodgers with this O-line, that would look tough. I mean, he'd be getting fucking destroyed.
The idea of Rodgers with a fully healthy team would have been different.
For sure. But, like, why didn't they bring in more? Like, it's not just Darrisaw. You said he got hit on, like, 67% of plays or whatever, 60% of passes. It's not just Darrisaw.
So, Ryan Kelly went out, middle of the game, concussion. And then Darrishaw's been out, and then that's really it. You were missing your center, right guard was in and out of the game, and then your star left tackle was out. So your blind side was, and it's not even like it's just a serviceable rotation because we had Cam Robinson last year who was serviceable. Like, it's not. It's like, remember when Aiden Hutchinson had that game where he had like 4 sacks or 5 sacks last year? Yeah, it was against our left tackle that's starting for us now.
Nice.
So it's not even just rotational bad left tackle. It's worse than the league left tackle. So like,
yeah, so I don't even see like it'd be hard. Like Daniel Jones maybe with how like quick he's moving, but like it'd be tough right now with any of these O linemen, which is why I'm wondering if you guys just didn't address it, or if everyone's hurt. And that's just how it is.
We addressed it. It's just missing Darrisaw, who is the key component of that line, is kind of hurting it because you can't do anything to the left side of your line. It has to be everything through the right side of your own line. So it's just, I don't know. We got to see what Darrisaw looks like healthy. He's coming off of ACL injury. So like, once he gets back and gets a couple games under his belt, I think he'll be fine. But it's just like, it's tough when you had a team that won 14 games last year, be in a situation where like, now you're dealing with quarterback woes, and you have to have this phantom ankle sprain to where he's all of a sudden out 3 to 4 weeks now. Like,
crazy.
And you're looking at JJ McCarthy, who's played 1 out of 8 good quarters of football.
Yeah.
And this is a guy who had a meniscus injury last year. It's not like he was in camp and in practice, like getting reps in. He was sidelined. Like, it's not like he was, like getting reps and working. Like, he was hurt all last year. So, like, now you're kind of just throwing him to the wolves on a team that had such higher expectations than what it's looking like now, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So it's very alarming a little bit, especially with how the games have gone. Just
how that good division is.
You've had some fucking names in that QB room. That offense has never looked this fucking bad, ever.
Look at this right here.
Yeah, Nick Mullins is putting up 300 yards.
JJ McCarthy was the banner and in the bio of the NFL Twitter after week 1. Fucking industry plan, dude. 1 of 8 quarters has been good. Fucking industry plan.
Fucking industry
Are you kidding me? They forced Sam Darnold out of town for this motherfucker. Gosh, but I will give him some slack. He had a kid like fucking an hour before the game, so maybe he's fine. Well, he's not going to play next. You know what I'm saying, though.
Don't let Wentz look good.
Your kid, man.
Don't let Wentz look good.
I have no more takeaways. I feel like I've already said too many things about this NFL season that's just not going to be true by week 8.
Yeah. But we can get into the week 3 slate and then go through our power rankings real quick. Thursday night, Miami at Buffalo.
Ooh, yeah, I think I'll go Buffalo.
I'm going to go Buffalo. I'm going to say one thing, though. I think this is going to be a better game than the Jets-Buffalo game was.
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm hanging on.
Yeah.
In
Buffalo,
at least they can
like
pass. Like, Justin Fields looked terrible.
Tua played better, man. Tua played better.
He did. Yeah, he did.
Tua looked fine. That's not why they lost.
Try to throw to Tyreek Hill and triple coverage across the field.
What'd you say?
Tua's just,
Hold up. Yeah.
Tua's just interesting. Yeah, it's just bad.
He's something else.
But Packers at Browns. Wait, go ahead, Cole.
I was gonna say this picking the spreads on this pool thing has been bothering me because I am not doing well. I'm in like 4th, but it's bothering me. I'm going through and doing my picks as we do this. So if I explain that I think this team is gonna win, but I'm picking them on this, that's why. But I got the Packers. I got the Packers winning this game. I'm going to
Packers too.
Oh yeah.
I got the Packers. Do we think the Browns are gonna be any better than they were last week, or are they gonna get blown out just like they did?
I think they might show this Packers offense some problems with Jaden Reed being hurt and just having Matthew Golden's having some growing problems, but I don't think they'll win.
It might be the team that's at home got belt put to ass. They might come out a little bit stronger than you would think, but they still lose.
Yeah. I can just see like it being like a hella low scoring game.
Yeah. Rams at
within
Eagles.
9. Rams at Eagles. Ooh. This is a noon game. Shit. I thought this would be a afternoon.
Just give me the Eagles.
I
want the Eagles. I want the Rams to win, but I'll just see it happening.
I think this feels like a game to me that the Eagles play their style of football where they play slow, they keep it close, but the Rams have done that this year. They did that with Houston, and I think the Rams have shown more explosiveness on offense, and I think they make a big play in the 4th quarter. The Rams win this game. I think the Eagles are going to be 2-1. I think this is important, though, that the Eagles get these offensive pains out of the way, and they deserve a loss right now. They do. They deserve a loss.
I'm going the Rams. Out of the past couple of years of the Eagles being this powerhouse team, they just always have seen the Rams have always seen to just be able to keep it close with them no matter what, really. Mm-hmm. And Puka, Devontae Adams, I think the Cowboys would have won that game week 1 if CD caught them passes. So it's now you're going up against another crazy wide receiver tandem.
Maybe you lose if Travis Kelce makes that catch.
Yeah, makes that catch. The Rams have a better defense than the Cowboys do. So kind of comparing the Rams and Cowboys just of what they have to offer against the Eagles. The Rams just find a way to keep it close against the Eagles. Give me the Rams to at least cover. It's 3.5. I think it's going to be a really close game because I feel like any time they've played, it's been close. And Saquon Barkley's been the difference maker.
Quick question.
So we'll see what happens.
Quick question, because I left early. The episode we did our full like AFC, NFC predictions. I left the NFC one early, but I told you guys the Rams were my NFC champion, my team in the Super Bowl. I know the Packers Eagles are starting really good. Do you guys think though that through 2 weeks, like, can the Rams are they that level of team still?
Big picture NFC, I still think there's like 5 teams that can do it, and yeah, I do think the Rams are definitely part of that.
I like
but
it.
I still have the Eagles at the top, and then there's like a mix of 4 or 5 teams that can do it.
Yeah.
Puka, man. Oh shit, he's good.
He killed it.
Yeah, him and Adams are gonna be. It's gonna be. That's crazy. It's a noon game, but
found out his girl cheated on him. He went crazy.
Yeah, Falcons at Panthers.
Yeah, Falcons.
Falcons have been very impressive.
They might kill him.
Give me the Falcons.
Yeah.
Bijan crazy game.
I don't want to say all that. I think Tet might have a big game. I got Falcons though. Falcons look like a really good team. They're really good.
Colts at Titans.
Letdown spot. Titans get their first win. Come on now, baby.
I'm going Colts.
Titan time.
I'm going Colts.
I'm going to go Titans.
If the Colts go 3-0 here.
Yes,
Colts haven't punted yet.
I respect it.
My take has gone quadruple platinum in the first 2 weeks of the season. We
must
be riding with
this.
the
No way you can run away from it now.
We gotta stay on them.
No way you can run away from it now.
Nope. Bengals at Vikings.
Carson Wentz versus Jake Browning. I will not be watching this game. I got the Vikings.
If Shaw plays, I have the Vikings winning.
I got the Vikings.
I don't want to make a pick.
Tie?
I don't even know.
That's a good pick.
Because
that's a good pick.
These teams are in the same. These teams are in the same situation. They're in the exact same situation. It's Jamar and Jettas, and then fucking Jake Browning and Carson Wentz. I'm going the Bengals because Jake Browning loves Jamar Chase so much.
Yeah, no, I think Jake Browning's gonna do fine. He's just gonna be fine because he's been in the situation before when Joe Burrow's been hurt, and he did fine.
I just think your guys' defense is a step up above the Jags. Yeah. I think you guys can show them a little bit of something.
Yeah.
A little bit of something.
So I'm still going to go with us. Next game, Jets at Tampa.
Tampa.
Fields,
he's in protocol, right? Concussion protocol.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he doesn't play.
I think actually Tyrod Taylor.
Even if he does, I probably got him.
I think I got Tampa winning the game, but I think it'll be a closer one than we think. I think that offensive line is still shaky for Buccaneers. I think Tyrod Taylor actually might help Garrett Wilson out a lot. So
I can't believe he's still in the league.
This is actually a creamsicle game.
The fuck does that mean?
They have the orange jerseys at home. So this is a uni bet.
Oh shit! Never mind. It's gonna be a fucking blowout. Bucks. I like when that's jersey shit going on. I'm in.
Fair enough.
Raiders at Commanders.
Oh my god, Commanders.
I don't know what the Jaden Daniels shit is, but Geno just threw almost 7 picks in a game.
Well, hold on. I didn't even talk about that Raiders game on here yet, but why did Nick just say, "Oh my god, Commanders"? You hate the Commanders.
They might kill him. I hate the Commanders. I hate the Raiders so much more. I hate them so much more, dude.
We just lost by 11 points to the number 3 team on our power rankings in the NFL. What the fuck are we talking about? Geno played like shit, but I'm just saying.
He played terrible. What's going on with Genty's snaps, bro? Why is he running 50% of snaps?
I don't know.
I got Commanders, but let's.
He's not even going to answer the question.
I don't know.
I did laugh. I laughed out loud for what you were going to hear in that chat. The first snap of the game where he threw that. I laughed out loud. I was like, "Oh my god, they're about to kill him in the chat." But I'm going.
No one was up watching. Commanders. I got lucky it was late. No one was up watching besides like Connor and you.
Oh, I was up.
No one was texting shit.
God.
No, I wasn't saying shit.
I got Washington though. I think the Raiders are going to be fine. But I got Washington.
My Geno bench take by the end of the year. Come on.
That's fucking terrible. That's a terrible take. He's still like top 5 in passing yards in the NFL right now. He's still top 5 in passing yards in the NFL right now. He just has a 1 to 4 touchdown interception ratio. But Geno threw 15 picks last year. He's going to throw. Geno's fine.
He a gunslinger, man. He's a gunslinger. He ain't never gonna stop throwing that motherfucking man.
The last one was at the end of the bro. Yeah, like this is gonna be fun. Brock Bowers is fucking hurt. We're fine. We just lost to one of the best teams in football. We lost to the 3rd best quarterback in the NFL. My Justin Herbert shit's going trip platinum. Fuck.
Yeah.
The Chargers are clear of any other team in our division. Steelers, Patriots.
Patriot.
Steelers. Give me Steelers. Give me the Steelers. I think this is the game where they get the defense back right. This is the bounce back defense game.
Give me the fucking Patriots.
Texans at Jags. I'm gonna be so tuned into this.
God, give me the Jags, Texans. Come on,
Texans.
I don't think the Texans fall to 0-3.
No way.
I don't think the Texans
whatever
fall
the fuck's going on in Jacksonville right now. Texans.
Playing the Rams in Tampa defensively. Now you're playing the Jags. Give me Texans on the road too. Saints at Seahawks. Give me the Seahawks.
Who was the first team?
Saints at Seahawks.
Yeah, give me the Seahawks. I want to shout out the Saints though. They're playing hard. They're playing good. They're not playing that bad.
Spencer Rattler wants to be a good quarterback so bad.
I'm a Spencer Rattler guy.
I've never seen a guy want to be a good quarterback.
I got a tweet.
So bad.
I got crazy tweets about him on draft night, the night he got drafted. Just want to throw that out there.
Broncos at Chargers.
Chargers. Wagon.
At home. This would be their first home game.
Chargers wagon.
Chargers. Sneaky,
Bo Nix
sneaky
is not
good
that
game.
good. Troy Franklin, though. Troy Franklin's here.
If the Chargers win this game, and I know I kind of had a take about the Chargers last week. If the Chargers win this game, they will handedly win the division. This will be 3-0 in division for them.
Like, why did they start 3 division games? That almost feels unfair.
I didn't even realize they started 3 division games until they were talking about it on the call last night, and I realized they played Denver this week. I was like, oh, start out 3-0 in division, like that's weird. That's kind of tough. But I think if they win this game, they're gonna handily run away with this division. But yeah, I'm going Chargers. Dallas at Chicago. The most trap line I've ever fucking seen for a bet. I'm gonna have Dallas plus bread, and it's gonna be a fucking sweat. For no reason.
Oh,
give me Dallas. Give me Dallas.
Sweat.
Give me Dallas.
Bro, give me Dallas too. I can't talk shit on the Bears like I just did and then pick them right now. So
no Jalen Johnson. CeeDee Lamb is going to have another day with no Jalen Johnson out there. Arizona at San Fran.
It's gonna be a fun game.
Yeah, give me San Fran.
Huh?
This would also be San Fran's home opener, I'm pretty sure.
I don't care who the quarterback is.
Picking
against my Cardinals.
I'm going to pick Arizona. I feel like I questioned them after their 2-0 start, but I think that they're going to be ready to go for this game. I'm going to say I want to pick Kyler over Mac Jones. Simple.
Kyler always plays good against the Niners.
Yeah,
this is true. They won a fluky ass game last year to end the year against them too. I'm gonna go Cardinals.
I really like
think
Jonathan
they end up
Gannon,
going 3-0.
He was the Philly DC, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm excited for this Sunday football game. By the way, after what we just saw from Russell Wilson.
See, this is where they get you. This is where Russell Wilson has he had it last year for the Steelers. He legit had this game last year against the Browns, I think. We're on Thursday night where he had like 350. and or was this against the Commanders where he had just like a crazy fucking where the moon balls were just all over the field, and this is where the Chiefs just win. Let's stop it. They played the Chargers and Eagles. I don't give a fuck. The Chiefs are just gonna win.
Yeah,
this is the Giants are gonna go back to being like that offense we saw in Week 1 that can't move.
But this hate watch
this Cowboys defense is terrible.
This hate watch is gonna do it for me though. That's all I gotta say. Sexy Dexy's gonna get in 15's fucking grill.
Now when the Chiefs can't move the ball, it's gonna be pretty funny.
That's what I'm saying.
It's gonna be interesting.
When the Chiefs win 13-6. Oh fuck!
Oh my
gosh!
The Chiefs don't blow anybody out, but I just think that the Giants' defense is still a step down from the Eagles and the Chargers, especially in that secondary.
Oh yeah,
secondary.
Secondary Chiefs.
I think they're going to be able to generate a little bit more space in that receiver room, and they probably won't be able to run the ball a ton. But I'm not banking on Russell Wilson having back-to-back games where everything's hitting, throwing the ball wise down the field, and it just won't happen against the Spags defense. It just won't. Then getting into our Monday night game, Detroit at Ravens.
There's too many points to give the Ravens or to give the Lions to. So like, if I pick on the spread, I'd pick Detroit, but I got Baltimore winning the game. That's not even a cop out. I just the only reason I wanted to mention it is because it's 6.5. I think that is a little much for this game. I don't. Lions are back. Lions are back after that Week 1 game. I don't care that it's the Bears. You did that shit. That was dominant as fuck.
I think it's just somewhere in the middle. I just think they weren't ever too far gone. I don't think they're too far back now. I think the Lions are just what they were.
I'm big on this is going to be the home opener for Baltimore. After starting out 2 road games, they played Detroit 2 years ago, I want to say. And it's obviously 2 years ago. But Detroit went to Baltimore and looked scared. This is also 2 years ago, but just bringing that up. But it's the Ravens. Like
I got the Ravens.
They're just gonna win this game. Like the offense looked good against the fucking Bears. Like for the Lions, like they're playing the Ravens. I know the Ravens don't have the stout defense that on paper they probably should. Probably gonna be a close game, but give me the Ravens in this one pretty handily. But we can kind of wrap this up and go into our power rankings going into week 3 to wrap up this episode. Starting at 1, going down to 10. At 1, we still have the Philadelphia Eagles. At 2, we have the Buffalo Bills. At 3, Green Bay Packers. 4, Baltimore Ravens. 5, LA Chargers. 6, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 7, LA Rams. 8, the Detroit Lions. 9, the Washington Commanders. And 10, this is probably the first time they've ever been on the Barrel Talk Power Rankings, the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, for sure.
For our power rankings
still have not punted. Nick, can I ask you what your name on the pick'em is?
Probably like NR Gwyn something.
What place is Nick in?
Here we go, man. This is spread
Corey,
one?
we're tied for 3rd. That's why I wanted to bring it up. We're tied for 3rd with 20 points.
Oh, and just the one we do for the pod?
Yeah.
I don't think he's in that one. Are you talking about the spread one?
I have 25 points in that one.
I'm at 18 points.
Oh, wait. Am I
So there's hella people. There's 4 people tied for 3rd.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys both have 20 points. I have 18.
Yeah, I cooked last week a little bit.
Okay. I wanted to chirp you if you're at the bottom. I didn't know.
No. It's because I picked fucking
I like our
Jacksonville,
power
Miami,
rankings, by the way. I think when we do these power rankings, I like that you talked me into Colts being in there because there is the whole point of power rankings is like how you're playing this year. So I like to value the past too, as much as I can. But yeah,
the Colts also have never been in the power ranking, so we got to show them some love.
Yeah, I like that.
Who was the team last year?
It was the Saints. It was the Saints. That's who we went to, and this is who they
were
are.
2-0.
Just letting you guys know now, the Saints are the Colts this year. They will not be in the rankings in a few weeks.
Wait, Nick, are you on this? I was scared to do it because Corey has the take. I'm ready to sell on the Colts.
Oh yeah, me too. They're not.
I'm ready to fire sell on the Colts, even though they haven't
the Patriots.
No, they haven't punted.
Hey,
all
respect to Indiana Jones. All respect to Indiana Jones.
That name's so fire. That name is so fire.
So
I respect
Danny
it.
Dimes is done. That shit's so great.
He's not going to keep this up. All right, he's just not.
I'm gonna have a big ass smile on my face when I wake up and it's fucking next June. Daniel Jones just got signed to a 3-year bag
With the
by the
Vikings.
Colts. With the Colts, I'm gonna be like, "Yep, here we
With
go.
the Vikings.
With
Here
the
we
Vikings.
go. Get that take fucking framed. Get that take
was
fucking
tough.
framed." But you guys want to wrap it up there?
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in to the Bears Talk podcast. Hope to see you tune in to future episodes.